HQ, it's Raven here. I'm reporting from the middle of the Kalayaan Island group. It's early morning and the sun's barely up, but the tension here, always simmering. You've read about the West Philippine Sea in news, articles, and textbooks, but let me tell you, being here, it's a whole different beast. This isn't just about rocks, reefs, or distant island nobody's heard of. No, this is a high-stakes fight for resources, territory, and control over of the busiest sea lanes on Earth. 6 claimants tangled in this web: the China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Brunei. And every one of them is playing their own game. The question isn't if this place will explode, it's when. Let's break this down for the second. The West Philippine Sea is part of the larger South China Sea, a region where everyone is claiming, making things messy. It's not just about who owns which islands or reefs. The real price, the waters and the beneath them. Think of this place as the world's trade highway. Over $3 trillion worth of goods pass through these lanes. Oil, foods, gas, you name it, sailing through here. If anything disrupts these routes, economies collapse. That's why regional heavyweights like Japan, South Korea, and Australia are watching closely. And of course, the United States isn't sitting this one out either. Now let's talk about China. They have taken this whole situation and flipped the board. Reefs that used to disappear under high tide, they've turned them into a full-blown military bases. Airstrips, radars, missile systems, you name it. They've got it on reefs like Mischief, Pericross, and Subi. Here's the kicker. Though China doesn't rely on brute force alone, they are smart about this. You've probably heard of this so-called Maritime Militia. On the surface, they look like civilian fishing boats, but their job? Shadow other countries' vessels, harass them, and make it just uncomfortable enough that they think twice about coming back. It's a warfare without firing a shot, a gray zone strategy that keeps everyone guessing. The Philippines is holding its ground, but it's an uphill fight. They occupy 9 features the Kalayaan Island group. The most important being is the Pag-asa Island. It's not just soldiers here. You've got families, kids, civilians, and making a life on this remote outpost. That's resilience. But then you've got Scarborough Shoal, Bajo Dimas Block. Back in 2012, China moved in and made sure Filipino fishermen couldn't access it anymore. You think the 2016 international ruling that invalidated China's claims would change this? It didn't. Out here, it's not about who's right, it's about who's there. Vietnam, on the other hand, isn't backing down. They hold the most features in the Spratlys, 22 to be exact. If you think that's aggressive, it's because history has taught them a hard lesson. In 1974, China took the Parcel Island from them. Then in 1988, they died a soldier clash. Since then, Vietnam has been clear. Fortify, patrol, and don't blink. Now, Malaysia's approach is more low-key. They've got 4 features, but they are not making too much noise. Brunei? They're quiet, no occupied features, just claims on paper. Taiwan, though, they hold Itoba, the largest island in the Spratlys. It's heavily fortified and they're making it clear they're not letting go without a fight. Here's where the stakes get. It's getting global. The U.S. Navy's been conducting freedom of navigation operations, or the FONOPs, right through these contested waters. Their message: international waters stay international. But China isn't having it. They argue these waters are theirs and warn that military operations here need their permission. What does this mean? Tense standoff between US and China ships, often just a few nautical miles apart. One wrong move and things could escalate fast. So here's where we stand. China's fortifying, Vietnam's resisting, and the Philippines is holding the line. The US and its allies are trying to keep the balance, but this place, it's a powder keg. Everyone's armed, everyone's watching, and it only takes one spark to light the match. The question I keep asking myself is, who's going to blink first? So this is Agent Raven, signing off for now. I'll keep watching, keep listening, and keep reporting from the shadows. Because out here in the West Philippine Sea, it's not just about reefs. It's not just about islands. It's about power. And no one wants to lose.